In my second tutorial video, I will show you how to use Flubaroo to auto-grade your Nearpod presentation quizzes and format the results to easily import the grades into GradeSpeed. In Google Drive, where you originally saved your Google Form quiz, there will be a new Google Sheet created that has responses in the title. Your student responses are saved within this sheet, and this is the sheet we're going to run Flubaroo on. We'll want to select add-ons within our menu options, and then we'll select Flubaroo. Now, if you have not enabled Flubaroo on this sheet, you'll want to select Get Add-ons, and then get the add-on Flubaroo and enable it on the sheet. I already have it enabled, so I'm going to go ahead and select Grade Assignment. In grading step 1, I'll need to select the grading options and point values for all of the questions on the quiz. When I select the drop-down for grading options, I can skip grading on a particular question. Normal grading is what you would have for most of the questions on your quiz. And then grade by hand is very special. I can create a quiz that has open-ended questions and multiple choice questions within the same quiz, which is something that I can easily do here with Flubaroo, but not as easily with a Nearpod quiz. For this first question, it's the student ID. So what I want to do is make sure that it identifies the student. Now the point values, I can change from anything from 1 to 10, and I can make one question weighted a little bit more than another, which is something else special I can do with Flubaroo that I do not have the option of doing with a Nearpod quiz. In the Nearpod quiz, all the questions will be weighted the same, but I can change that here with the Flubaroo quiz. So after I have analyzed all my questions and made sure that my grading options and point values are correct, I click Continue. And then in grading step 2, I'll select the submission that Flubaroo will use for the key, which here is the very first submission. I'll select the radio button for that key and then click Continue. Flubaroo will then grade the assignment and create a new tab down here at the bottom of the screen. You can see it next to the Student Submission tab. And this Grades tab will include all of the student grades, and this is also the sheet that I will use to import into GradeSpeed. If I select the Student Submissions tab, you can see that nothing was altered on the Student Submissions tab. Flubaroo only created this new grades sheet here. Now GradeSpeed is very specific about how this sheet needs to be formatted so that the grades can be imported. The student IDs need to be in column A and the grades need to be in column B, and it's currently not that way. We have to reformat this sheet so that GradeSpeed will be able to use the scores correctly. All of the rows and columns are currently frozen, and so we want to unfreeze them. We'll select View, Freeze, and then No Rows, and then View, Freeze, and No Columns. And then we can move everything around so that GradeSpeed will like the results. The student ID column needs to be here in the first position, and then the grades column, which is currently here, needs to be in the second position. Here we go. Now GradeSpeed will like the results here. The last thing we want to do before saving this sheet is to check down all the student IDs and make sure everything looks okay and there's not any duplicates. Any duplicate student IDs could be a problem when uploading the grades. We also want to check to make sure the students have correctly entered their IDs and haven't put S's at the front of them. If there's an S on a student ID, GradeSpeed will not recognize that as a valid student ID and will just skip over them. So any student that mistakenly put an S in front, we want to delete that. After you have analyzed all the student IDs and made sure everything looks accurate, then you'll select File, Download As, and then comma-separated values, which is the format that GradeSpeed uses to import grades with. We'll select that. We do not need to give it a name. Google will automatically name it the name of the quiz and will store it for you within your Downloads folder of the computer. And you can see here's our grade sheet right here. It'll be the first one on the list. And this is what we'll use when we import our grades into GradeSpeed.